Hello everyone, welcome to Raw Online. I am Dr. Venkatakrishnan, Professor of Medicine. We will be discussing about a CNS case presentation, one of the important topics in clinical medicine and an emergency acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. This is a history, a short history which goes as 35-year-old gentleman. He works in a press, is a right-handed individual. Deviation of angle of mouth towards left side since 7 days. He is not able to close the right eye since 10 days. Weakness of both lower limbs since 12 days. There is a facial nerve involvement, right side facial nerve involvement along with paraparesis. He was apparently normal 7 days back when the deviation of mouth was noticed by his wife. As expected, there is a stasis of food in the mouth, right cheek while eating, then followed by clumsiness of the legs while standing, which progressed to difficulty in walking and further not able to move his legs at all. He was not able to stand from sitting position, not able to roll in bed from side to side. Trunk muscle also affected. He is not able to sit up from supine position. But he was able to comb his hair and mix his foods with fingers. He presented to hospital and was admitted with the above said complaints into the ICU. The weakness was static after admission. No progression of weakness or improvement. There is no diurnal variation of weakness, no fatigability, no bladder or bowel involvement, able to control micturition. Complaints of weakness of bilateral upper limbs after a period of 4 days. Not able to lift his arms now, but he is able to mix his food. But the upper limb weakness improved after a few days. After the improvement, the patient is able to roll in bed from side to side, sit up from supine position, able to comb, but the leg weakness is not improved. What about the cranial nerves? Except for the 7th nerve, all other cranial nerves are intact. Sensory is normal. Past history, what he gives is a small abscess discharging pus below the right eye, which resolved after 3 days, which is not significant. There is no diabetes, hypertension, TB or bronchial asthma or no similar episodes in the past. Family history is no significant and no drug or personal history which is significant. The summary of the history, it is a 35-year-old male. We know we are going to discuss AADP, but we should have some lateral thinking, whether it is AADP or something different from AADP. The patient had facial palsy with bilateral lower limb weakness, followed by weakness of the upper limbs, which improved with treatment. No history suggestive of higher functions abnormality, no sensory, no extrapyramidal, no autonomic or no cerebellar involvement. And the patient is 35-year-old, no significant comorbid illness. This is the history. So, you should analyze the history. Where is the lesion? What is the disease process? And why is the lesion? What is the etiology? It's very easy to say what are the structures affected. It is lower motor facial palsy on the right side. mostly proximal group of muscles, even if he was able to mix his food without sensory or autonomic disturbances. Probably anterior nerve roots are affected. Involvement of all 4 limbs, that suggests multiple root involvement. So, it is a polyradiculopathy with 7th nerve lower motor neuron lesion. What is the diagnosis? What is the possible diagnosis? So, we should know, with the discussion of CNS, we should know what are the conditions where 7th nerve can be involved with muscle involvement, anterior nerve root involvement. Usually 7th nerve element is not seen with hemiplegia or other things. Usually upper motor neuron facial palsy is seen with hemiplegia. It could be in the internal capsule where facial palsy, human facial palsy and weakness is on the same side. If facial palsy, that is element facial palsy on one side, contralateral hemiplegia, it is the lesion is in the pons, that is crossed hemiplegia. Here, there is a element facial palsy with a polyradiculopathy. That's what is the important of this history.